Welcome to The Hidden Self. My name's Chris and this is the third video in our series Mind Control. In the previous video we spoke about nocebo and the negative effects the power of our thoughts can have, and we used that poor gentleman that got locked into the refrigerator compartment who literally thought himself to hypothermia and unfortunately died as a result of his negative thoughts. So today I want to kind of bring this into a bit more of an area that we can maybe all relate to a little bit better. So I'm going to start with the power of superstitions. And even in today, there are some cultures that place an enormous amount of importance or power in the phenomena of voodoo. And the power a witch doctor has or a shaman might have. Now, we're not here to change your opinions. What we want to do is maybe offer a different perspective. But what is actually happening when we invest or we give power to something like a witch doctor or put power to voodoo? Because it comes back to this concept: is the power is a spell being transmitted by that witch doctor, of which hits us and then changes us? And that's the kind of the concept that we started talking about, that can we influence an object with our thoughts? Now, this concept about having power, having control, influencing something kind of goes back to superheroes. But it's really about having a power within us to actually a force, if you like, to connect to something, to then influence it in a way that we want. And that is called action at a distance. Now, I'm going to show you something. All that's happening here, right, is that I've just got magnets, and I can actually affect this magnet with this through time and space by a force field that's attracting it. Now, when we start thinking about the power of somebody over us or a situation, that situation isn't creating a force field. The force field, the power, is actually our thoughts. And what happens is that it's actually creating a different type of force, or a certain force field or a power source within our mind that then connects through an empty space of a synapse, of which affects physical matter. It's a chemical reaction. So I have an electrical force, if you like, a magnetic electrical force called thoughts, that then bridge a space that then is turned into a chemical form called emotion. And that's what happens in our face. A thought can make you smile. A thought can make you feel sad. But what's happening is that there's an ever so slight chemical reaction within our biological cells, our biological body, and then our muscles kind of change as a result of our thinking. But our thinking is not part of our body. Our thinking is the power source of which can move and affect physical cells, chemical reactions within our body. And so what I want to try to do today is to say, what is influencing our thoughts? Am I giving the power to a witch doctor, of which I am then just convincing myself that they have some power over me and that they've caused me some spell for me to live my life by? Now, let's then take this into the modern world, because we are all influenced. There is always a power that is running through us. We are always thinking about something. Now that something might relate to a person or an event in our lives. But if we're constantly playing a certain thought, that certain thought permeates a certain powerful electromagnetic energy all the way through us. And then that is then represented through the chemical reaction. And our body then represents that thinking through the way that we feel about ourselves or about other things. And so I was thinking about this because if we really believe, if we really embrace that we have this enormous amount of resource called our thinking that generates certain powers and certain force fields that we can then start to transmit out, I want to really understand how or what is controlling those thoughts. Because 90% of the way that we think has been unconsciously built. But if we embrace the fact that there is a thing called nocebo and placebo, and that these things really do affect the quality of our health, the quality of the way that we see the world, then I want to go into the back of my mind, if you like, and I want to know how it's been programmed to think. Because if we can actually start to take control of exactly the type of energy our thoughts are transmitting through our body, then we will actually experience the world in a completely different way. And we will actually see ourselves slightly different as this energy spirit rather than a physical body. Because it is the energy from our spirit that is actually creating all the different chemical relationships that we have within us. And it's almost like we want to go back into the control center and understand what the different levers are that are generating the different types of power outputs our thoughts have. What does that lever do? Oh, it makes me feel a little bit depressed. What does that lever do? Oh, that makes me feel a bit anxious. What is that? Oh, I like that one. Oh, what's that one? Right? It's like, I want to know when I'm pulling down something or engaging something, there is an energy force field that is connecting to a physical form and it's affecting it. It's controlling it. And so, we can actually then start to think about this relationship of the power, the actual force field, the type of force field that our thoughts have, to then how we're actually connecting with a physical form, which is our body, right? So this phenomenon now is actually happening. There's an exchange over space that's affecting a physical form, a physical object, through the power of our mind. We're actually moving muscles. We're moving chemistry through the power of thought. And yet most of us don't really see that as a phenomenon. We just think that it's just biology. But in fact, we've indicated that through the power of thoughts, we can actually change the molecular structure of cells. And in fact, we can make our brain believe that it's freezing to death purely through the power of thought.